I told you I'm not here to mess around.
Good rising, beautiful people. This is Kiki sending love, light, and positivity your way. I am a little exhausted, but I'm back on the road again. Had a rough night. Didn't really sleep well. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to make up for it. I'm going to make up for this. I'm going to get me some sleep when I get settled. So, excuse my little roughness. And hopefully you can just focus on my message, my words. I just wanted to get you guys to understand that when you are getting to know someone and they begin to open up to you about their history and some of it may be true, some of it may be half truth, some of it may be a full-blown lie, but I do want you to keep this in mind. It just requires discernment. It requires energy to kind of weave between the story that you're hearing. When someone is telling you a story about some of the things they experienced growing up, just know there's always a side effect. I mean, for everyone, not just the partner or the person you're interested in or who you're getting to know, even for yourself, even for me, there's always a side effect. So what I mean by side effect, I'm hoping my phone will fall because I got it kind of rigged up. If someone tells you that they had a hard life struggling growing up, from living in poverty, from living in a very chaotic environment, domestic violence, they tell you that it had got so bad to where they had to be separated from their parents, or it put them in a very uncomfortable situation where they had to live with people, live from house to house, had to deal with a lot of fighting, just had a really rough life, having to be dependent on others other than the parents that they were given. And then if they tell you that their ex was very hoish and abusive, 9 out of 10, there's going to be some type of influence in their behavior while they're with you. So if somebody's telling you that, oh, my parents were separated because, you know, my dad was an alcoholic and abusive and my mom stayed with him for years and years and years trying to put up with it, they're going to expect their partner to stick with them through whatever BS they bring to the table. If they tell you that, you know, the dad got caught cheating with a prostitute and then the mom tried to replace him with somebody else and that, you know, and somebody else and then somebody else, 9 out of 10, he's going to be that person that you're showing interest in. They're going to already automatically assume that you're not really trustworthy based on the things they experienced growing up in their childhood, what they witnessed with their parents or with their aunts and uncles and their baby mamas and exes and stuff like that. They're going to be very, very controlling, very, very cautious. They may even try to hurt you before you even decide to hurt them, just so they don't feel the pain of the past. It's like a protective mechanism. So I wanted you guys to just keep that in mind. When somebody is telling you their life story, oh, I used to slang in the streets, that means they don't always follow the laws, they don't always follow the rules. When you are trying to look for a commitment, it comes with rules. You know what I mean? If you really want to enforce the rules, it comes with morals. You know, most drug dealers are not good citizens. Sometimes it comes with them having to do things by any means necessary, even just to survive and feed their family, things that they're not always proud of. So don't expect the person to be an angel just because, you know, they decided to clean up their life and leave that lifestyle behind, because like I said, there's always remnants of past experiences that flows within the present time. That's why I'm always focusing on, okay, what was your past like? And it tells me what I'm going to be dealing with today. And I'm going to tell my story too. You know, I was very embarrassed in my past to let somebody know that I came from a broken home. I had to, live in the projects, dealt with, molestation and sexual assault. I was very embarrassed about that. But I think that it's important to let somebody know. Well, for me, it's important that I share my story because I'm coming to you with flaws, and I am working on my flaws, and I'm not trying to repeat the stuff that I experienced in the past. But it did leave some side effects. Okay, so now it's like I'm very cautious. I have trust issues. Not to the point where I'm overbearing, but I take your words at face value until you show me otherwise. And then when you show me otherwise, don't look all shocked and act a fool when I start putting my foot down. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm not gonna lie about that because I lacked a lot of things that I should have got when I was younger. It was not a balance in my life. So I'm learning to create that now in my life. That's something I want in my life: a balance, a healthy home, a healthy relationship, to build a strong bond with someone that believe in loyalty and transparency. So, you would think out of all the money these roads be collecting from folks, they would have smoother roads. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. And it don't just this message isn't just about relationships with a partner or a potential, loved one, but it's also with friendships. If somebody come up to you trying to get to know you as a friend and they tell you, oh, I had to break some people off because they were doing this and this and that. Okay, you got to ask yourself, what role did they play? Okay, if you feel like that person that you used to hang out with is a liar, okay, how long did you entertain the lying? What role did you play? Because like I said, our energy attract people to us based on our energy. So we are low vibrational. 9 out of 10, we might end up attracting somebody that have low vibrational behavior. Just like another example I can use. When one of my exes came to me and was telling me that he stopped hanging around this particular person because they were lazy and just like pretty much hoeing around, running train on people and messing with underage girls. And then another friend got in trouble for molesting a little girl while he was drunk. And then, he hanging around that type of person. And then on top of that, the person got a brother that's gay and trying to, get attention. It's like the people you hang around, it shows that y'all got something in common. And it ain't just about, oh, this person is just nice. It's a little deeper than somebody just being nice. It's a little deeper than somebody trying to share their resources with that particular person. Like, what you got to ask, what is it that caused this person to really feel like, okay, this is the one I need to label as a friend? Because we have associates, but you got to play a certain role to have that friendship title. So like I said, I'm not here to, like I said, judge anybody, but I'm here to reduce the drama in people's life. So I tell them the drama I went through, so you don't have to mess up like I did and learn and find out the hard way. That's the circumstance that I'm trying to get people to realize. People do change. I'm always for change. I'm big on that. I want to be a change agent in our society. However, just keep in mind there's always a side effect to somebody's story. So maybe they did change from the people they hang out with or the things they used to do, but there's always a side effect. Just like one last example, the Jim Crow laws. Even though we're not segregated like we used to be, but there's still some side effects to the Jim Crow laws, even though they kind of changed it up and put it out there in a hidden way. There are some areas, some people that still got that mentality, and there's still some things that need to take place in our society to balance out the equality and businesses and just being fair based on people's color. See, they say, okay, we're not going to discriminate, but they find other ways. See, a system is put in place to make a certain group of people struggle And so they know, okay, well, if they're struggling with credit, then good. We can go ahead and then create a community and tell them that if you don't have an 800 credit score, then you can't move in this area. So it's still like a little bit of hidden Jim Crowness going on in that type of idea, but they mask it with something else. And so that's the point that I'm trying to make about relationships. Don't expect somebody to come to you with a clean nose 100%. You know, that's why I always give people the chance to open up and say, and I tell them my shitty background. I tell them, I say, look, no, I didn't come from, you know, the best environment. And I'm pretty sure you ain't come from the best environment. If you got a high body count, just be honest. If you've been exposed to an STD, just be honest. Let's see if we can work around it. But when you take away my options, when you take away my opportunity to determine whether you're a good fit for my life or not, then that's when I stop bitching. That's when I start running my mouth. And I just don't want anybody else to go through anything. So that's why I'm putting it out there. Please, 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 please use discernment, affirmations, pray. When you trying to figure out whether this person is for you, pray. And your ancestors, your spirit guide, whoever you believe in, they're going to show you. They're going to show you the true side to the person. I just hate that I didn't see it until way later on when I'm midway through my life. But it's okay, because maybe it was meant to be that way. I'm not going to question the divine, because the divine is always on time for me. But this is not to, like I said, bash or make somebody feel guilty or whatever, because that's what I said. No matter what your past is like, whatever mistakes you made or whatever you know did knowingly and unknowingly, it is for a purpose. It's to evoke change. Maybe it's a good change, maybe it's a bad change. And I already told you, when bad things happen, good things follow behind it. So that's just the way the world is set up. Polarity, duality. You can't get away with it. Can't go around it. When you talk about sin, you're just talking about the low vibrational ways of acting. When you talk about hell, you're just talking about things that are uncomfortable for you while you're living in your avatar and experiencing life on earth. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this and try to get me some energy going while I knock out the rest of these miles to Tampa, and then from there to Orlando. But other than that, y'all be easy, love yourselves, I love you, and until next time, peace out.
I told you I'm not here to mess around, and you've been acting too mysterious. You didn't think I'd go, but do you now?